Going live. Boom. Here we are yet again, Richard.
Hey, buddy, what's going
Yes, sir.
on?
How are you?
Doing well, man.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing okay. Had a had a long day today, but overall, I'm here. We're here. We're recording on our second Monday in a row, which is
Oh,
super weird and exciting. And hopefully by the time, hopefully next week we get back on our normal schedule for everyone.
it's odd. It's just how our lives have been recently.
They
But
they have been rough. So hello, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. Welcome to the Slams Fist Fact podcast. We hope you're having a great day, and we are going to jump right into the episode because we're feeling frisky today. Rick, what are you sipping on, my guy?
a bit of Mickey D's Coca-Cola. It just hits a little
Mm,
different. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree.
What
Not
about you,
the
man?
not the best choice though from Mickey D's. I think you have one better. It's the Sprite. Mickey D's Sprite is
Okay,
different, bro.
okay, time out. McDonald's Sprite is the normal Sprite by a larger degree, but McDonald's Coke is still my favorite drink they offer.
I'm a sweet tea man myself. I'm not going to drink anything that from McDonald's besides sweet tea. I will say though, very underrated coffee place. McDonald's coffee is really good, and you can get a large 32-ounce iced coffee from McDonald's for $1.
Agreed. Definitely slept on as a coffee place,
Mm-hmm.
especially when, like, all honesty, how good most coffee places like Starbucks are for their regular hot coffee. I mean, you're talking about a third of the price and just as good of hot coffee. If you
Yeah,
want specialty drinks, that's what I think you should go to coffee joints for. But if you just want a cup of Joe, McDonald's.
yeah. Why not?
We are not
Why?
sponsored in any way, shape, or
Why?
form.
Yeah.
But
Why not? Best bang for your buck when it comes to coffee. That's honestly not bad. I am going super light today. I'm drinking some adult water. Got some Mickey Ultras left over from the weekend, and I ain't got to work tomorrow, so that's where we're at with my drink. I was drinking Peroni, but I finished the three of those that I had, and so I switched to Mick Ultra. And when I run out of those, I should be passed out, but we'll see because I got some Miller Lights and some White Claw still in the good fridge as well. So
just an assortment left
yeah,
from the weekend.
yeah, it's just an assortment. I feel we filled up two garbage bags full of cans this weekend. I had a blast. It was fun. It was fun, but can't do nothing. So shout out to our wonderful friend Mac for making a drink recommendation, which is always fun because I feel like we're always well. You are not drinking the same thing. I feel like never. Me, there's a good choice. I'm either drinking coffee or beer. There is no in between. That's what I have. I either want a
Mine is
depressant or caffeine.
mine is definitely just whatever is convenient that day.
Yes, beer is always convenient for me. I tell you that.
Oh well, there you go.
Well,
What do you got for this week in history, man?
I have three. Um, I want to shout out the French on this first one. 1792, the French legislative approved the use of the guillotine. And do you know when it ended? Because
Oh,
I
I've
do.
heard this
I do
before because
without having to look this up.
it's way more recent than most people believe. Give it
Agreed.
to me.
Agreed. It ended the same year the first Star Wars movie came out in 1972.
Okay, I almost said 74. I was like, I
And
know it's like way more modern than most people believe the
you
guillotine
did you
was.
did something in France that they didn't like. If they really wanted to, they could guillotine you in the 70s. Yeah.
Like,
What a horrible way to go out, but it's okay. At least they don't do it anymore. It'd be public execution's weird. Um
yeah.
my second one in good old 1963, the this is near and dear to my heart because I love things like this. Love old things, old asylums, hospitals, prisons.
Oh, I
Alcatraz.
already know what's.
Alcatraz
Yep.
closed.
Yep.
Alcatraz
As
closed
soon
in
as
1963. I want to go out there. I want to I I want to go out there and see it, and I want to compare it to Rebirth Island from Call of Duty first off. Secondly, I want to do a ghost hunt there. I would love to do like a nighttime ghost hunt in Alcatraz cuz I bet that shit is wild. If for everyone out there who doesn't know me that well, I am obsessed with paranormal videos on YouTube. Like, it is a bad obsession that I have, but it's so freaking interesting. I will stay up for hours watching that shit.
the rabbit hole is deep, y'all.
It
The
is.
rabbit hole is
It
deep.
is. It started probably like 6 or 7 years ago when Tommy and Gabe and I were living together and has not stopped. Love it. My third one, I want to wait. I want it to be the last one.
You already stole one of mine, so.
Go ahead. That way, just in case that you have this one as well, you can do it.
Okay. In 1934, Augusta National Golf Club hosted the first Masters tournament.
Boom, baby. The greatest show on grass.
And then in 1999, Picard and Brian Jones circumnavigated the globe in a balloon for the first time.
Underrated success right there.
that is
That
that is
is-
such a dedication.
I want to get a hot air balloon, and I'm going to travel from LA to LA, but I'm going to loop the entire world first. No, thank you.
That would be a wild trip.
No, thank you. What
What's
else?
your last one?
Oh, that was it
Those are-
for you? Oh, because I
Well,
took
I
it.
had
I took your Alcatraz.
too.
All right. I know this one hits our friend group hard. Probably hits most of the slammers that listens to us very hard. In 1933, FDR legalized the sale of alcohol back into business, baby. FDR for life after that one. That's why that man was president for 11 years.
Yeah, 4-time president.
Right there. Everybody was like, hell yeah, this guy let us drink again. Shout out.
Every bar and speakeasy was like, we're voting for him again.
Every time. And if you don't, we'll murder you all. FDR is the man. For that
Oh,
and a couple
God.
other things. But yeah, legalized alcohol. It's crazy that it was only in the 30s, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, I might have changed up my hot takes a little bit. I brought more to the table. I was going to do more culturally event because we have clearly figured out that I am not good at these hot takes. But I found a couple that I want to talk about. How many do you
Okay.
have?
I just have one
Cool. Throw yours out there because I have 3.
hot take that probably a lot of people will not agree with me on that watch college basketball. But as a basketball fan, I would heavily favor that once you get to the Final Four, and only the Final Four in the championship game should be series. Play a best of 5 once you hit the Final Four.
I think I
A lot of people disagree, but I think if you really want to find out who the best team in college basketball is that year, they should move to a series format. But it would take way too long from the beginning of the tournament, and I love any teams get into the tournament.
Oh, it's great.
So give everyone that shot. Let them run through. Let them break all your freaking brackets like this year. When you get to the Final Four and then the championship, it should be a series. We should see really which one of those 4 teams the best college basketball
can
team
just
that
take
year.
it in. I like it. I like 5 games for the final. For the Final Four, I'd do 3 games.
And I mean, hey, they're sacrificing their body on this one. We're not spreading this series out for very long. Like,
No, you're playing 5 days in a row.
okay, that's a little excessive, but
I'm
I did
talking
think-
game, doubleheader, 2-hour rest, game. Not only are we going to test your basketball skill, we're going to test your stamina and your endurance at all times.
Bench depth. That's the other thing that would come into play here is your roster top to bottom
Yeah,
is
no, I
would
agree.
really come into play. So
I
what are your hot takes?
I disagree with your hot take. I think it's fine the way it is. One and done.
I know a lot of college basketball fans that just would absolutely hate it, but I would love it.
It'd be cool to see.
Screw you guys.
Maybe they do what MLB's doing. You know how in the minors, like MLB's like implementing new rules, testing out in the minors, then taking it to the MLB. Maybe they try it for the NIT next year.
I'm sorry. I have a new hot take. I just remembered that from today, the Cubs and Angels were playing,
Okay.
and they both had on their red jerseys, and I was appalled that they did not have an alternate because a guy was on first base and he's standing next to the first baseman, and I couldn't tell which team had a person on base. I was upset.
You're lying.
Oh no, I swear. The biggest difference was their pants. I think the Angels had on their gray pants and the Cubs had on white pants, or vice versa, but their jerseys were both bright red. And that should not be allowed. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's just a general thing that stuck out to me today that it upset me.
So I will say I'm looking at a picture right now and I am appalled by what they just did.
Ah, that's absolutely asinine. Why do you not have an alternate kit?
I will say though that it is spring training and they only have one type of jersey for spring training.
I don't care.
The Cubs shouldn't be red. I'll throw that out there. Maybe the Cubs should stick. I know that red is their accent color. Maybe you should make a blue fucking jersey like you are. You're the Chicago Cubs.
Like you are.
Nobody's gonna be like, let me buy that red Cubs jersey because that's the color we've represented for the last 100 years. No, I want a blue Cubs jersey, spring training with a big ass C right here, maybe like Cubs in the middle or something. It's the Cubs' fault. I'm fully 100% blaming the Cubs.
Okay, sorry. Moving on to yours.
So I have three. One hot take is take Disney World out of the equation, okay? Just put that in mind. Florida is an overrated vacation destination in the United States.
Disagree.
It's I disagree as well, but it's a hot take that I read today. I read a news article about it. It's overcrowded. The beaches are always crowded. Did my mom's side of the family and I go vacation in Disney in Florida all the time? You're damn right we do, because it is the best state to vacation in if you want to have fun at the beach. It's fun. I think it could arguably be say it's the best state to vacation in the U.S.
That's a hot take.
You could argue it though. Disney World, because you got to put.
You can argue whatever you want.
No, yeah, you can. Florida. The hot take is Florida is an overrated vacation destination. It might be overrated. It might not be. It might not be as hype as people think it is. I love going to Florida. I'd move to Florida if I could. Amy and I thought highly about moving to Florida after moving to Texas.
Tell us what you think. Would you rather keep hearing our ridiculous hot takes, or do you want us to rate other hot takes we find online?
Ooh.
Because I like that. I like how you kind of pulled in a hot take from
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, I
and
read
we
an
get to
article
talk.
about it because I was pissed off because I was like, I love going to Florida. So these two are hot takes that I agree with. ASMR videos are the most annoying videos on the internet.
Yes. And they should ban them from Twitch and other live stream services.
All of them. That's all you hear, dude. Like, they're so annoying, bro.
I don't know what people get out of them, and I'm not trying to. I'm not judging you if that's your thing.
I
Judging
am.
the creators of those contents, and I do
Nah,
not
dude.
like them.
Nah, if that's your niche as content creators that Rick and I can sadly and boldly claim is
That's a stretch.
we're stretching content right now, but we're fine. ASMR videos, like, I don't want to go, personally, I don't want to go, if I go on Twitch or Kick or Facebook Gaming or YouTube and I'm like, you know what? I want to listen to people put their fingernails on the microphone and whisper. Now you can fall asleep because I'm just doing this into the microphone. Nah, not a chance. Super worst videos on the internet. That's all I got to say. Legal videos. Worst legal videos on the internet. Hands down. ASMR videos. Secondly, and I'm so sorry if this makes you mad, because I don't know your opinion on these people yet. The Beatles are terrible.
Well, it's been a good podcast, you guys. This is the
Not
last Slams Fist Back podcast.
the Beatles. The Beatles are overrated.
Just fucking wrong.
You have
Whoever
to
wrote
look at
that's
it.
fucking wrong.
I'm not saying
No,
no.
that's just
Listen to
fucking
me.
wrong.
Listen. You have to come at this with an open mind. All right.
Okay.
You have to come at it with an open mind. I'm not saying that the Beatles are bad. Terrible was a bad word. Overrated is what I'm saying. They can still be good, right? They can still be great, but they are not as good as people. Oh, the Beatles this, the Beatles that.
The only overhyped comment I've ever heard from about the Beatles, actually John Lennon when he said they're more popular than Jesus. A little bit of a strong claim, just looking at the numbers, but you look at what they did for music.
Oh no, it's fantastic. That I'm not taking anything.
Revolutionary.
I'm not exactly, but I'm not taking away anything of that. What I'm saying is with the people like today, not in the 60s when the Beatles were happening, right? Not then. I'm talking about today. People overhype the Beatles. They are overrated for what the do not. I am not comparing these people right now. I am throwing that out here before I say this. It is on a very much smaller scale than this, but it is the same as the people that are obsessed with Beyonce. Beyonce is way overhyped, overrated.
Agreed.
The Beatles, for the music, I love their music. I think their music's good. Some people will be like, "Have you listened to so and so song?" And I'm like, "No," because it's not one of their like 20 best songs. They're like, "Then you don't know the fucking Beatles, man." And it's no, the Beatles are overhyped.
Oh no. Now you could say they have a ridiculous fan base, and that's the same thing with Beyonce, because I actually really like Beyonce's music.
Which would mean overrated.
No, it means that their fan base is crazy. Their over fan base itself becomes eccentric. Taylor Swift, Beyonce.
So would a better word be is to say would be overhyped because of the fan base?
No, because I feel like the most like the your larger audience at play, your general public, has them very respectably high in popularity, but aren't like fanatics. That's the word I'm looking
Right.
for.
Okay.
Versus those niche groups that are just insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
That like literally I have a vinyl record player and all I listen to is the Beatles all day long and smoke weed in my kitchen.
yeah, like that person's eccentric.
agree.
But that does not take away from the
In
Beatles
my
music
personal
themselves.
opinion, I think the Beatles are the second best band to ever come out of the UK.
Dropkick Murphys are fantastic.
They're from Boston.
Yeah, they're like got that Irish thing going.
That's still not the UK. Ireland's not part of the UK, Rick.
What about Northern Ireland?
Then you would call it Northern Ireland. You would
We're about to get into a political dispute.
you would get stabbed over there if you said something like that. I've been there. Had people warn us not to say shit like that.
Well, guess what?
I'm
Freedom of
coming.
speech.
I think Queen is the best band that's ever came out of UK. That's a very I about said unbiased. That's a very biased opinion because they're also my top 3 favorite bands of all time. But I'll take Freddie Mercury over John Lennon 9 times out of 10.
Paul McCartney.
Huh?
You have to take him over both. You have to take him over Paul and John.
Yeah, but then I can just add Brian May to the equation if I'm going 2 for 2, and then I'll be like, yeah.
And it's John and Paul.
Do I take Freddie Mercury's vocals over John Lennon and Paul McCartney? Yes. It's like if you sat me down and be like, Brandon, who would you want to sound like if you sang? Here's your choices: Paul McCartney, John Lennon, or Freddie Mercury. I'm picking Freddie Mercury every time. I want to have that vocal range and that swagger of a voice.
Ah man, I just no. Just musical talent, like I mean, Paul
I'm
McCartney,
I'm not
the
saying that
Beatles
they're
in
not.
general, just such
I'm
a.
not saying they're not talented. I like
Get
their
you.
music.
I just think they're
I
more
just think
talented than Queen.
I just think they're overhyped. They're
There's your
overrated.
biased opinion. There you go. Okay.
Unbiased.
That
That's
was
why
a
it's a
hot take.
hot take, Rick.
That was a hot take.
That's why it's a hot take. It might be the best hot take I've brought to the table.
Probably.
Other than Florida's overrated.
Hot take. Brandon's bad at hot takes.
Yeah, another hot take that's just a proven fucking fact is the Rolling Stones suck. But I'll throw that out there too.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
I am completely kidding. I actually think the Rolling Stones are better than the Beatles. I only I'm just saying shit out of my ass now to frustrate you.
I was gonna say, dude, we're getting carried
I
away
will
with
say a
this
lot of
shit.
people will argue that though, because those are probably the most prominent two bands that have come out of the UK. But people argue it, and then they throw the Rolling Stones had a longer career. It's like, well, John Lennon got fucking murdered, you dummy. But the Beatles were already broken up then anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say, but
But I think like if you took 60s to when the Beatles broke up to 60s to when the Beatles broke up Rolling Stones, the Beatles blow them out of the water.
yeah, man, I just
My
no.
top four favorite bands from the UK are literally Queen, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Oasis. But the Oasis isn't really a band; they're more like a duo. But they're a band.
Yeah, I put
But
them in the
but
band.
but not a band how like
What about you two? Where does you two come into your rankings?
last.
Oh, Bono
I could
last?
not name you one U2 song right. Actually, no, I can't. Hold on.
No, actually.
Hold on. The one song. What I do, I could not. I can't even sing it because I don't remember the words, but I know the beat to the song. I couldn't name you a U2 song right now. Gun to my head, I would die.
Okay.
Dude,
We need to
I'm
move
just coming
away
in
from UK
controversial
bands.
today, baby.
Yeah, he is on one, you all. I don't know how to speak for my friend here.
Hey, I'm here. The beverages are a flowing, and I'm just ready to go. And that order that I said those UK bands in are not in the order of what I think they are. I'll never let y'all know the order of those four. But Queen is number
Brandon's
one.
actually Brandon's actually just still drunk from this weekend, everyone.
Hey, man, I'm throwing in with hot takes. But anyway, we had a user submitted draft this week on TikTok. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, slammers out there. We do have a TikTok. So
And
go
our
like
one
it.
fister.
Yeah. And our one fister. This actually came from the fister. So, um, go out there, like the TikTok. It's at Slam Swiss Fact. It's right under me in this recording. Or if you're just listening to it, it's at Slam Swiss Fact. You can type it in. It's spelled the same way that the podcast is. Anyway, we have a draft. Trios. And by that, Rick thought we were having a special guest on to do a draft when I first texted him. What we mean by trios is a group of three, clearly, that go together like white on rice. They are here, they are ready to rock, and we're going to do our top five. And I can tell you right now, we only got 10 spots, and we got a lot of honorable mentions to talk about because I think a lot of these are really good that I have today. And maybe Rick, too. He might have more than we draft anyways. But Rick thought he got to go first, so Rick gets to go first.
Rick knows he gets to go first after you stole cookies and cream from me. Um,
Demolished
so
the ice cream draft.
it was a good draft, dude. It was a good draft. Um, so yeah, when he texted me and was like, "Our draft is trios," I thought he meant do three. Like there was a guest on. We were gonna have three of us going through like we've done in the past. And then he clarified, and I was like, okay, that's pretty. That is a challenging one. There's a lot of great trios out there.
Definitely thought provoking. Maybe the
Yes.
maybe the most thought out draft that we had to do. And now I will say with the premise, these trios are not just real people. They can also be things, inanimate objects. I also went fictional people as well. They can be all of the above. If you think of it as a thing, and I'm just going to give you an example that we probably, hopefully, we don't say. I'm going to say this one right now, and we can't use it, just to give everybody an example.
Oh my God.
Green light, red light, yellow light.
Okay.
I figured we wouldn't have that one on there. It just popped into the dome right now. We're here to go, but
You
stuff like
scared
that
me.
as like an inanimate object. Red, you think they go together? Red light, green light, yellow light go together. That's a trio that we can take. We got a lot of them for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So we are here and we're ready to go. Rick, start us off with your number one overall draft pick.
One overall has to be Three Musketeers. Looked
Ooh,
up their names. Athos, Porthos, and Aramis
you
are
had to
the
look up
original
their
Three
names.
Musketeers. Yes, it's the original three from the French novel. I feel like you cannot get more iconic of a trio than the Three Musketeers.
I am throwing just as an iconic trio out there, a more present day iconic trio. Some would say the Kings of Comedy. I'm taking the Three Stooges.
Okay,
Mo, Larry, and Curly.
that is really good. That's a really good pick. I like that. I like that.
Three Musketeers was on my list to take as well, so I was like, Rick probably thought of the Three Stooges, so let me take that off the board real quick. All right, what else?
Then I'm gonna go with three more killers in comedy: Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, the Animaniacs.
Nice. I love it. If we're sticking to people, I'm sticking to people, damn it. I'm taking some animated people. I'm going tit for tat with Rick. I'm taking Ed, and Eddie.
Very nice. I don't know how we're getting into this direction, but I'm gonna
Who
keep it
cares?
rolling
Throw it.
with Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, the
No.
Chipmunks.
No, not the chipmunks. All right. I'm changing it up. I'm going a whole different direction. I need some diversity on my team. I'm taking probably the most iconic trio that every middle schooler ever knows and plays with. I'm taking rock, paper, scissors. Ooh.
Okay. Good one, good one, good one. I go off in left field here.
I love it.
Red, yellow, blue, the primary colors.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a...
Having anything colorful now. Those are all mine.
All right. That's fine. Can't take any colors now? I guess I'll just take all of food. I'm taking the trio. I'm taking the trio of breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay. I was like really confused how you were gonna take all of food.
I'm taking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, baby. The three most important meals of the day.
Don't worry, you guys. You left out midnight snack.
Yes, and dessert. It's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna shift gears here and go with one of the most iconic sports trios of all time. When you think of dominant trio, go Jordan, Pippen, Rodman.
Ooh, that was a good one. I had that one written down. I want to. I have two. I told myself I wanted to do this without doing sports, so I'm gonna stick to my promise, and I'm not gonna pick. I'm not gonna take KG Allen and Pierce, and I'm not taking LeBron, Wade, and Bosch, because I told myself I wanted to do it without sports, so that's what I'm doing. Now I'm torn between the three fictional trios that I want to take as my last pick. I'm going to take one that I feel like is near and dear to the heart of all the Lord of the Rings fans out there. I'm taking Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli as a trio.
Oh man, I feel like you're missing the mark here, buddy. Ah, I
Well
gotta
then,
just.
well then I can not take them.
Oh no,
Oh
that's your
no,
you
I.
locked in your pick.
Oh
You
no,
locked in
I
your
took
pick.
them.
Viewers know that he chose three of a larger group. That's a bold.
They're literally they're amazing together.
Are all like 11 of them. Fellowship of the Ring.
They're together. They're different. I I look. I'm taking them.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
backing down from my draft pick.
As you shouldn't.
And I mean, look at it, bro. You took the Three Musketeers. I need some military on my team. Okay, that's all it
I,
is.
I got some honorable mentions. I definitely got to
Oh,
shout out.
I have 1,000 of them. I'm ready for it.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Got it.
DuckTales. I feel like they're just not quite to the Animaniacs and the Chipmunks, but they made my radar. You know, they were out there. The scouting party did look into them.
I have a trio of top tier our age people. I'm taking Harry, Ron, and Hermione from Harry Potter. Super
See, to
trio.
me, that is a stronger trio than Aragorn, Legolas,
Yeah, they were only
and
part of
Gimli.
Dumbledore's army, which was like 85 people, but it's okay.
Literally,
I
those
took
three
Aragorn,
versus
Legolas,
the
and
rest of the
Gimli
world.
because I love them. Okay?
I wanted to shout out another super dominant sports trio because they just have to come to my brain. And this, I want to really throw out there. This is hard for me. Michael Irving, Emmett Smith, and Troy Aikman literally just ran the '90s in football. I hate Dallas. I'm an Eagles fan, but I got to give their due. And that trio ran roughshod over the NFL.
I
like,
agree. I agree. I got a couple more that I'm just gonna fast fire here. Small, medium, large. Small, medium, large. Ready, set, go is a good trio out there.
okay, okay.
Fork, spoon, and knife. All together, you need those to eat my breakfast, lunch, and dinner draft pick. SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward. Or you can substitute Squidward for Sandy, but I think Squidward's a more prominent thing because they all live together. So I'm taking SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward. And my last one, for all you Pokemon people out there, I'm taking Ash, Misty, and Brock.
Not where I thought you were going.
Oh, you thought I was going to go the Rockets?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, bro. When
Nah,
you said Pokemon,
I was going for
original
the
trio,
I was
dude.
going for the real people, you know.
No, no, screw them. The original trio is the original three Pokemon.
I know, I know. Fun draft.
That's a good draft. That's a good
Trios were
draft.
hard. Oh, we had fun with it. But anyway, I think we have a lot to talk about with sports.
There is a ton to talk about, and yet almost too much. So I try to limit myself a little bit with just two big things, and one is actually a question too to propose to you.
Sure.
Brackets are busted officially. There are zero perfect brackets in men or women's NCAA tournament
There's
now.
one women's perfect bracket still. It has you.
No,
They have UConn winning it all.
busted.
When?
Stanford losing. It got busted with Stanford losing to Ole
Oh,
Miss. Or,
okay.
yeah, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was the last perfect bracket. Still had Stanford in it. That being said, who is the best looking team that you've seen on the floor, or if you don't follow super closely, that maybe you've seen clips of that are left in the tournament, men's and or women's?
Women's South Carolina.
I
They're
agree. I
they're
agree.
disgusting. Smalls to large, bigs to smalls. Ready, set, goes. They're they're gonna
Breakfast,
win.
lunch, and dinner. They're
They're
there.
they're winning it all. They even got an appetizer and a dessert on there.
They are dominant, and I have to give super big kudos to that program because they are, I think, taking women's college basketball in the direction it needs to go. They need to learn how to play physically. That sometimes women's basketball was seen a little more. I don't want to use a word demeaning, but it definitely seemed like a more dainty game to the point where the South Carolina coach got flack and was receiving criticism for how physical her girls were playing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a ridiculous criticism in sports.
I
They
agree.
just are dominant. They're great. They're doing just great things for the sport of women's college basketball.
100%. But they're easily the most dominant, well-rounded team left in that. I want to give a shout out to my uncle's favorite team in the women's, Mississippi State. First ever women's play-in team to actually win the game after their play-in game. They didn't upset Notre Dame. They just lost to Notre Dame. But whoever they upset before that, it was awesome. Men's, it's tough. Alabama's disgusting, but I don't think they're going to win. Kansas, oh, that's right, they're out.
Oh yeah, that was another bracket buster.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Um, One, I think the West is up for grabs with Purdue losing and how poorly Marquette played earlier. I would say Houston. I think Houston or Texas. I think one of the two Texas teams are the most well-rounded left in that men's tournament.
So I have to say it's a toss-up, but between two different teams. I'm going to go back to you said Alabama, and I think that's true. I think Alabama is playing great basketball and that they have a very talented roster.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to shout out though Kansas State, and
Oh yeah.
they're a 3 seed, so they're ranked pretty high, but I feel like they're being overlooked. I sat down. For those of you that don't know, my wife is a big UK fan. We went out and watched UK. They lost. It was a really good basketball game though. I told her the whole time is UK has some talent on their roster with possibly the best big man in college right now with Oscar Shibwe. Kansas State just outplayed them top to
Mm-hmm.
bottom. They look like a better team. They're playing better defense. The ball movement and the assists were just there all game.
Yeah.
Kansas State is dangerous. Mark it here. I did not pick them to do super well this tournament, but I am now. Like
Yeah.
they are playing really good basketball.
I wanna throw it out there that I just misspoke. Marquette did look dangerous, but they're not gonna
They
win because
lost.
Michigan State beat them. I want to take back everything I said about everything.
Yep. Okay. About the Beatles, he rescinded what he said. You guys, you heard it here.
I think UConn is one of the best well-rounded teams in there. UConn's disgusting, and they're a 4 seed. Since 2007, I saw this stat that I thought was funny. Only a 1 or 2 seed or a 3 seed has won the NCAA tournament, or that team has been UConn, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
The
1,
only
2, or
team
3 is
wasn't
one,
on 2 or 3.
or UConn has won the national championship, and that's it. UConn could be
UConn,
disgusting.
UConn is good, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, that's all. I mean, no one has a perfect bracket, so no one knows. But
Nope.
uh, yeah. And
I,
what's funny enough is I did pick Gonzaga to win though.
mhm.
Shout out to Drew Timmy. He's my hero. His mustache is my hero. I'm an old college basketball player, and I hope him and Gonzaga do really well. But
Yeah, he's a bad
Alabama,
man.
Alabama and Kansas State just look dangerous, man.
I tell you, the game I'm most excited for this weekend though is fucking Princeton versus Creighton. They are both playing like madmen of teams. We're about to watch a 6 versus a 15 in the Sweet 16, and I am here about it. I love
Man,
it.
you wanna come to Louisville and watch them play? That's where they're playing this weekend.
Are they really?
They're playing at the Yum Center, and so is Alabama. I don't
Yes,
know
they
how much
are.
ticket costs, but if you come up here, we'll go see a game.
Yeah,
We'll find a way.
we'll just be like, hey, we'll put you on the podcast. Thought about that. Thought about that. Well, if that's the case, if we're talking about basketball, I want to give everybody a bracket update with what's currently happening in the Slams Fist Fact podcast. One of our
Shit show.
one of our day one listeners, Preston, my good buddy from Texas, first place so far, has Texas winning. Preston asked me the name of the code, the password for the thing, and he goes, "Just so you know, I'm winning this motherfucker." And right now, Preston's in first after the first 2 rounds. So, shout out to Preston. Lionheart Life is number 2. Don't know who you are, but thank you for playing. Yours truly is in third place right now, but that's not going to last because I have Purdue winning the whole freaking thing. Owls fans number 4. Grand EFJ Slam is also tied for 4. T Dog 31, you're up there at 6. Rick and his wife are both tied for 7th place.
But the thing is, my team I have winning the tournament is still in the tournament,
That
so
is
I can make
very
a
true.
comeback. I can make a comeback here.
Swarter.
Two of my final 4 picks are still in, so I'm alive.
Swarter, your team is also tied at 7. And to round out our top 10, we have at Reiner, Ovotino, Celestino, the Fister, and our good buddy Vince that Rick doesn't know. So my good buddy Vince is the top 10. Now, the person with the most potential points still to score, though, is Owls fan sitting in 4th place. So going to go ahead and throw it out there right now that Rick cannot win this game, this tournament, because Owls fan also has Gonzaga winning the national championship.
I need the rest of all their picks to be wrong and mine to be
Owls,
right.
Owls fan still has 3 of the final 4 in the game. Shout out to everybody that's playing. Thank you so much. We'll update it again this weekend after the Sweet 16 games, at least on Saturday. And by Saturday, if y'all are lucky, we'll let you know what you're winning. Rick and I already know what you're winning. We just have to get it confirmed first to make sure that that's what you can get.
Gotta talk to our plethora of sponsors and
We do. We didn't know if we wanted Yeti or Jameson to sponsor this, so we'll let you know and then we'll get back to you.
So we're gonna give Yetis full of Jameson. That's a joke. That's a joke.
That'd be great. One thing
I might have a Yeti full of Jameson.
You good talking done with basketball? Because I have a couple
with
things.
College, yes.
Sure. Let's talk about the NBA. What's up?
There's a lot going on. We're trying to see who makes the play-ins. I'm not going to do a lot of heavily speculating on that. I do want to say that I hope the Lakers make the play-in. They're making a run for it right now with a healthier crew after free agency. Or not free agency, sorry. The trades that all went down mid-season there. In NBA news, Jordan is looking to sell the majority ownership of the Hornets.
Yes, he is.
That's a big deal. That's a really interesting situation. I love that he's an owner, so I don't know where this is going. If maybe he's saying he wants to step away, that it's taking too much of his time. I hope he does not leave the NBA scope completely.
I don't think he will. I think he finally realized he's not a good owner. Or maybe he wants to move. Maybe he doesn't want to live in Charlotte anymore.
Well, maybe. If he wants to go back to playing, he's going to unretire.
That'd be sick. It'd probably help the Hornets.
No way he plays for the Hornets.
Nah, not a chance. Not a chance. I think it's cool. I know if you ask a bunch of Hornets fans, they're 50-50 on whether or not they want Jordan to continue to own the team, which is understandable because they honestly haven't really done anything. Yeah, they've made the playoffs a couple times as the Bobcats and the Hornets. Haven't really made any big moves. The biggest move that they've made is getting LaMelo Ball. Second biggest move after that was being able to draft Emeka Okafor, and that was forever ago as a Bobcat.
Well, they also brought in Kemba. They had...
They've
tried a few things, but, my biggest blunder for them is when you draft Frank Kaminsky.
And Cody Zeller.
Those are just...
Adam Morrison. Granted, Adam Morrison had higher potential than either of those two people, I think. But it's still...
Yeah.
It's still just... I think it's good. He's going to sell it for a lot of money.
A lot of money.
But... Because even though Jordan has a lot of money, especially from, his Jumpman brain and all that, he's not going to take chunk change to sell the Charlotte Hornets. The man lives and breathes Charlotte. He loves North Carolina in general. He's from Wilmington, played at Chapel Hill. Now he owns the Hornets. he loves this state. He's not going to sell it to somebody that he doesn't think has the potential to get the Hornets to the next level. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and actually, one of the people that is supposedly, this is all insider rumors and things like that, but supposedly one of the people in talks right now about the possibility is actually a minority owner of the Hawks.
That's weird.
They would have to sell their stake. To my
Yeah,
understanding, they'd have to sell their stake with the Hawks, but they're not a majority owner of the Hawks. They just have an investment in them.
yeah. That's
They would
still
sell
weird.
out. They would sell out that part, and then they would, to my understanding, multiple people come together to buy the
Right.
Hornet.
Kind of like how
It's interesting.
Yeah. No.
We'll see. We'll see, because it also could just easily be it's mega wealthy comes in and swoops and makes a $1 billion bid like who Ballmer did for the Clippers. Could just
Yeah.
come in, drop a bomb of cash, and say it's my team
Yeah.
now.
Think of some. Th- and I know this is crazy, and it doesn't. It's not the same with like baseball with no cap space and soccer in Europe. Think of like a Dubai prince decided to be like, "Yo, Jordan, I love NBA basketball. Here's $18 billion. Let me have the team." You know,
Okay, okay, that's
like,
a lot.
but still, you know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
they could just do something stupid like that, and I mean, clearly Jordan's not gonna be like, "I have other options."
I mean, absolutely. There's people out there that could just come in and make like a inflation the way the league's gone now with teams. You're probably going to be looking at a $3 billion bid, and that would take it though.
Yeah, easy.
There's definitely people, outside sources, and then especially if it is a group that wants to come in and pool money, they could easily meet that and just there you go, done deal.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
What else you got for sports?
One thing I want to talk about, the World Baseball Classic is going on. We haven't really covered it. The U.S. plays Tuesday for the championship, trying to repeat back-to-back World Baseball Classic champions. One thing I want to say is Edwin Diaz, closer for the Mets, got hurt. Celebrating a win. Jumped up and down. He's the pitcher. He's closer for the Mets. I'm talking, $300 million man type of guy for the Mets. Hurt his leg, hurt his knee, has to get surgery, out for the season. World Baseball Classic. And now his team's not even in it anymore. A lot of people
Wow.
have came up from that and have been like, yo, this is why the pros shouldn't play in this. And a lot of pros that are playing and are not playing are backing going, this is my country. Baseball's not in the Olympics anymore. We're playing in this to represent our country. You can't tell us what to do, right? A lot of people are like, oh, it shouldn't be pros. It should be all amateurs, blah, blah, blah. But these guys want to represent their country, whatever. I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm not a Mets fan. I don't hate the Mets. I don't cheer for them because I'd rather see the Braves win in that division. But it sucks to see one of the best closers in baseball go down, especially this year when the Mets have a really, really good chance to win it all. They just signed Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander to their starting lineup this year. And to have arguably the best closer in baseball go down a month before your season starts, it's got to be a big blow to the cojones right there.
Certainly.
But I will say, America held no prisoners in the lineup
They did not.
the lineup that they chose to represent them at the World Baseball Classic. This team is dirty. Now, granted, we got blown out by Mexico earlier this week, but we're in the finals now. The team's disgusting.
I mean, we just 14-2'd Cuba.
Yeah, the team's
It was insane.
the team's disgusting. I'm ready to see it. Also, I wanted to throw my fun little weekly soccer facts in there. We're playing into the semifinals of the FA Cup, which is
Who's we again?
Man United. Clearly, can't tell that I wear a different Man United jersey every time we do a podcast. We are now playing in the semifinals of the FA Cup against Brighton, which is great, which means we don't have to play Man City in the semifinals. We might meet them in the finals now, which I would much rather play them in the finals than the semifinals. I will say though, the Fulham game that they just played ended up going Man U 11 people versus Fulham's 9 people. There were 3 red cards given to Fulham in less than 3 minutes. One was a handball inside the penalty box. You do that, red card automatically, you're out of the game. Cool. Guy goes up to the referee, starts arguing, says some things that shouldn't be said, starts shoving some players. Boom, red card, you're gone, bye-bye. The third guy comes up to the referee and just says, fuck anything, I don't want to play anymore, starts putting his hands on the ref and pushing and grabbing the ref. Ref goes, boom, red card, you're out. At that point, we are losing 1-0. And Fulham comes out and decides to get 3 red cards, play 3 men down, and we end up winning 3-1. Stupid plays by somebody that could upset a Man United team that's not amazing, but that has played way above potential this season. Thirdly, it's hilarious. And we've played 4 games in the FA Cup because different tier. This is the same one that Wrexham was doing really good in. Different tiers starting different levels. We've played since the 5th round. We've won every game 3-1. All 4 games that we've played have been 3-1, which I think is just weird. A little coinky dink. Hopefully we win this game 3-1 because we're still up to win a treble this year, and I said we would do it, and I'm sticking to it.
Instead of potential of a quad.
That's still up for grabs too, but I don't think we'll win the Premier League. That's going to be difficult. Arsenal would have to lose a lot of games. We have great potential to win 3 cups for sure this year. We're going we're in the semifinals of this. We're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. I'm ready for it. I haven't seen a trophy from Man United since 2017, and I've seen 1 this year. Why can't you give me 2 more, damn it? Let me bask in my happiness.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Man U can be my favorite red team in the Premier League until Wrexham makes it.
That's fine. That's fine. In all honesty, I'm going to have a hard time not cheering against Wrexham if they ever make there and they're playing against United. I'm just going to be like, hope they tie. I love Wrexham. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Reynolds, by the way. I know he listens.
Long time listener.
Duh. That man, sold aviation gin for $600 million. Then decides to buy a National League football team with his buddy Rob. Homie just sold Mint Mobile for $1.3 billion. And he's about to buy the Ottawa Senators. He wants to buy an NHL team, and he's about to buy them. Because the Ottawa Senators suck. They're probably worth like $100 million or something. Something low. Reynolds just made 1.3. That man, I don't think, and I heard this on a different podcast I was listening to, you can't really name me another man that's probably living a better life currently alive. Blake Lively's his wife. Yeah. Blake Lively's his wife. He's an actor. He's funny, good looking, owns a soccer team, just made $1.3 billion and is about to buy a professional NHL team. That man is living 99% of the men's fantasy lives that they imagine that they could live.
He's arguably the funniest character in the MCU.
Oh yeah. Hands down. He's in the MCU. He's phenomenal. Throwing it out there. Love you. Do you have anything else that you would like to say to the group?
Oh man, I think that about wraps me up. I'm trying to make sure we touched on all my sport bases and everything. Any kind of hot stuff that's going on that I feel like mentioning on here, I think has been said.
Yeah. No. I did watch cricket yesterday again for the first time in a while. I still don't understand it, but I watched it because it's interesting. It's probably the 4th cricket game I've ever watched. and I feel like it's the same three teams that always play. I feel like it's always Sri Lanka, Australia, or India. Like I don't know if those three teams like have a deal with ESPN like when they play each other like it's shown. That's
Mm.
probably what it is. But like I have no unearthly idea how anything in that game works besides the fact if you throw it past the guy and you knock the things down, it's called a wicket. I couldn't even tell you how many points you get for that. But I know that the guy was trying to go for his all-time wicket record yesterday and he didn't get it. Shout out to that guy. You'll get it, man.
Also a listener.
Yeah. If anybody out there knows anything about cricket,
Come
holler
on the
at us.
podcast.
Holler at you, please. I would love to know about it. It's so interesting for me to watch because I'll watch anything, but I just don't understand it. And then when I read the rules, I feel like I got more confused. So if somebody could come out there and explain to us how cricket works, I'd love to have you on. But anyway, Rick, it's been fun. Should do it
Good
again.
time, man. Yeah.
We maybe do it this Saturday, hopefully. But
Yeah. Nice.
anyway, yes, hopefully. Anyway, everybody, thank you for listening. We will be back to our normal live schedule of Saturday starting this week. Fingers crossed that we can do that. We still post every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the other platforms. If you like what you're seeing, like it, subscribe, comment on it. We will comment back to you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, email us at slamswissfact@gmail.com. Send us a message at slamswissfact. That is at slamswissfact on TikTok and Instagram. And actually, something new, we started a Twitter last week. Completely forgot about that. So we are on Twitter. You guessed it. It is still the handle at slamswissfact. Give us a follow on there. We do dumb updates. But anyways, last thing. Remember, 100 followers on TikTok gets a TikTok dance out of Rick. 1,000 gets a hot tub stream out of Brandon. That will not go away. That will happen, ladies and gentlemen. But but anyway, next week, looking forward to talking about it. Looking forward to talking about all the surprises the prizes that we have for everybody in the bracket challenge. But other than that, everybody have a wonderful